What's up, people? How we doing? My name is Chris, and welcome to Man Cave. How we doing? How's everything with you, family? I'd like to say happy Thanksgiving in advance. I trust you're getting yourself together to for that holiday and other holidays before that. I also believe that I hope you've been looking at the previous videos on Man Cave, and I trust that you're picking up a lesson or two. If this is your first time in Man Cave, basically what we do here, we talk about men, talk about challenges, inspiration, things that inspire, things that challenges a man, things that encourages men. And if there are areas where we have seen men drop the ball, we pick up the lessons there. We don't castigate or throw them down or throw them under the bus. We try to, learn a lesson or two, pick up a lesson or two as men, to be able to move forward in our own lives. And I have talked about different topics in previous videos, and I'm going to do something different. This is something that I have been seeing guys do on a daily. Sometimes these questions come, somebody leaves me a message in an inbox and said, so the question is, if you take a lady out on a date, who picks up the bill? Or if you go out on a date with a lady, if you are not the one who, calls for the date, but you go out on a date with a lady, perhaps she called for the date, and you go out on a date with a lady, who picks up the bill? And every time I get that kind of question, it kind of makes me wonder. I'll be like, wait, what? In 2022? And again, it makes me try to understand the age bracket of people asking these questions. Usually, there are guys born in the 20s, in the 2000s, asking these questions because perhaps they're trying to shape the narrative or shape responsibility. But if you're an OG, you will know the answer to these questions and how to work your way around it. So this is what we're going to talk about right now. When you go out on a date, who picks up the bill as a man, as a guy, as a man that you are, as a young man that you are, as a guy that you are, who picks up the bill? That's what we're going to talk about right now. So let's get into it. So if you're as a man, when you start dating, there are a few things you need to pick up. One of the things you need to pick up is the fact that society rests responsibility on your shoulders on some certain things when it comes to the female gender. You hold more responsibility to take care. So the responsibility of care is on your shoulder as a man. Whether you got the money or you don't have the money, whether you're working or you're not working, even from a young age, before the adolescence, if you live in a two-parent home, if you have a father and a mother, they're already guiding you in that direction to watch out for your siblings if you're a man. Even if your siblings are older than you. When I mean siblings right now, I'm talking about if they are girls, they're already telling you to protect them. They're already telling you to guide them. They're already telling you to watch out for them. And so these are signs for you to know that as a man, you have more responsibility, to take care of the ladies, even as a young kid. So they let you know that. So when you get older, you begin to have that understanding that as a man, it is the onus is on you. So when it comes to dating, they expect you to bring that understanding to the table. When you go out on a date, when you go out with the ladies, they expect you to be the protector. You're expected to protect the ladies. You're expected to speak for them when they struggle. You're expected to stand for them. I do not support violence in any kind of way. However, what you need to do as a man, when you go out on functions, programs, any kind, and you suspect that there might be some kind of trouble on the horizon, the best thing to do is to de-escalate and try to take whoever be your company out of the environment to avoid further situation. If you already know that you're a guy, which we can talk about in other videos, so you got to take the lead to show strength. So also, when you are dating and you go out for a date, or you are the one who calls for a date, responsibility is on you to pick up the bill, man. It goes without saying. Every OG knows that. When you take a lady out for a date, brothers, I know we are from different backgrounds. I do not know where this narrative, who's pushing this narrative, what generation is pushing down this narrative of letting the ladies pick up the bills, but you are responsible for picking up the bill, all right? So if you're not ready to take up such responsibility, it's always better to not go into a relationship or start dating, because these things will come, and it's not a question of, oh, she got more money than I do, so she's supposed to pick up the bill. It doesn't work that way. Even if she got more money than you do, it is your responsibility to pick up the bill. It is just how it works. Who came up with the idea? I don't know. It probably has been there before, from time immemorial. Okay, so, and I kind of don't have a problem with it. All right, I have had an incident where, I go out on a date with the ladies and I pick up the bill. I already know. I don't go there assuming that they're going to pick up the bill. No, I go there with the mindset. I already have the mindset. So I go there with that understanding that it's my responsibility when I go out on a date, that of course I'm going to pick up the bill. Now there have been times where, you're pressure. When I'm in pressure, I'm saying somehow, the situation puts you in a corner and you don't have the financial wherewithal, and your lady decides to go on a date, on a restaurant that you cannot afford or you didn't plan for. What you got to do is, if there's a day or 2 or 3 for the date that's been called out, all you got to do is just go do your finance, go do your background check. All right. If you're not ready for a date, say you're not ready for the date, because of course you're going to pick up a bill. All right. If you're not ready for that date, you could decide to, come up with some reasons why you cannot go for the date at that time, so that it gives you enough room to prepare yourself. So when you want to go out for a date where so 2 things we're going to talk about now. When you go out for a date, when you call for a date, before you call for a date, because you call for a date, you're going to have the opportunity to decide where you want to take your lady out for a day, because it should be a surprise. It should be romantic. You want to take her out to a place where you are comfortable with, which will also be like a surprise to her, which you hope that she's going to like. I mean, for a first time date or second time or whatever time of date, you have the choice. So they might, at the end of the day, say, "Oh, you are bad at choosing you are bad at choosing date venues." That is a different ball, a kettle of fish. But what is important is that when you are the one deciding a date, which is another advantage when you call for a date, you have an opportunity to decide where to go to. And when you do that, it helps you to help your budget. All right. So when you want to go for a date and you're the one calling for the date, you got to do your background check. Go to the restaurant where you want to take her for a date. Go do the findings. Let it be somewhere you're comfortable with. Let it be somewhere that is regular, or somewhere that you're familiar with in terms of their price, their food, the kind of food. It is very important too. When you want to take a lady out for a date, you got to be sure that they serve the kind of food that she's comfortable with. So you don't go waste money, take somebody out for a date in a venue where they serve food that she's not comfortable, she doesn't eat, and you spend money and wasting all that money for nothing. All right? I know you're trying to impress, but you got to do it at your budget, at your level. All right? So anybody who's not ready to accept you at the level that you are is probably a little bit higher than your anticipation. So you use the door. You don't sit there and be sobbing, wondering why they feel that the venue is too low below them and below their standard and all of that. Anybody that cannot accept what you're ready to present a first time, or subsequent dates, to understand that, okay, because ladies are pretty smart, they quickly begin to put you at a level. When you go for a date and they go to a certain restaurant, they say, okay, so maybe he doesn't have a lot of money, he's at this level. Perhaps you do, but you just want to both of you to start on this level first so that you get to know her. So it goes either ways, but just know that they are pretty smart. They quickly begin to put you on a scale. They're going to put you on a budget to know what is in your pocket, how much you got. They begin to bring those analysis together. But that's not your problem right now. What is important is you do your background check. Go to the restaurant, ask questions, get familiar with the menu, what kind of food they serve. How much do you think in overall you can spend in the restaurant? All right. If you do your findings, how much do you think in overall you can serve? Maybe 3-course meal, 2-course meal. All right. So, and when you do that, make sure you're the one taking the lead. Make sure you're the one taking the lead. The date is for both of you to get to know yourselves. So perhaps on the first date, she's not really cutting it for you. All right, she's making outrageous, unnecessary demands. You already know it's a red flag. So that's an opportunity for you to know the red flags. All right, so you got to take the lead. So, okay, what do you want? I'm taking this. What do you want to have? You're having this. Okay, so and if somebody's taking for ladies, when somebody's taking you out for a date, let them take the lead. Even if they're extending the courtesy to you to choose what you want, you got to be moderate. You got to be moderate about it. You got to be, you got to be considerate about it. It's not the time where you're ordering the whole item on the menu. It's a red flag. Anybody who does that, you know that that's not cutting for you. It's a red flag. After that date, you know it's not going to work. All right, so do your findings, go to the restaurant, know the kind of food, and then you budget before you begin to propose a date. Now, if she's the one, calling for a date and choosing a particular restaurant, which it could have been that you probably go taking her for a date once or twice, and you're giving her opportunity, or she's decided, okay, you know what? Let me choose a venue for a restaurant where we could go for a date. What you could do is, when she calls out for that date and you're not familiar with that, and you probably have to have a couple of days or so. If it's too short, you got to find a way to extend it. The reason for that is you have the opportunity to go out there, do your findings, go to the restaurant, find out how much food costs, find out the menu. You could take yourself out for a day just for one time. You might not really order for anything, but the opportunity to know what's in the menu and how it costs and how you can afford it and you can plan towards it. Because she's the one who called out for a day, don't mean she's going to pick up the bill. You're picking up the bill, brother. Yeah, you're picking up the bill. So what is the essence of all of this? It puts you in a responsible position. If you're not able to pick up a bill when you take a lady out for a date, you are not ready for a serious relationship. Period. If you go out for a date and you cannot pick up the bill for a date, you are not ready for a relationship. You're not ready for something serious, something concrete. So these are steps for you to know that you are getting up to the stage where you are ready for something serious. Because relationship, marriage, and what have you, they are all serious business. And a lot rests on the man to take charge, to be responsible. It's all work. And it's all hard work, if you like. All right, so it is important. When you go out for a date, make sure it is registered in your mind. You are the one picking up the bills. You are the one taking the lead. You are the one going to pick her up. It is your responsibility to find out how you guys are going to get there. Don't let her begin to figure out, oh, I can't pick you up. Oh, I send an Uber over. But it is better. You go pick her. If you have a car, take your car, go pick her up, go for a date. If you don't have a car, book an Uber over there and book an Uber to take both of you over to the venue. All right. So this is how it works. Make sure she's safe. Make sure you take her back. Make sure she's comfortable. Make sure you take her back home at the time, on time too, because whoever she lives with, she leaves her parents, she leaves her guardian, she lives with her family and all of that, they see you as a responsible person because you have to come across as such. All right. So that's how it works. If you're taking a lady out or you're calling for a date, you are responsible to pick up the bill. It puts you in a better pedestal. They see you as responsible financially. They see you as being caring. All right. And they use that also to measure the kind of person that you are. You need to measure if you're mature because it shows maturity. It shows that you know what you're doing. It shows that you're grown. It shows that you're well groomed. You're trained. All right, when you begin to argue who speaking of the bill, it simply shows that you're not grown. It shows that you're not mature. It shows that, okay, so you got a thing or two to learn. It shows that you're not ready. All right, so these are yardsticks. And of course, when you go out there, you got to comport yourself. If it's going a little below above your budget, you got to be able to comport yourself though. Just know that those some of the learning curves you got to pick up. Always assume they're going to go, order a little bit above. So go with enough money. All right. Don't go on a tight budget when you go out for a date. Whether she's calling the date or you deciding the date, go out with at least a considerable enough money. Assume and expect that it's going to go a little bit above budget. They're going to order a little bit more. So get ready. All right. So to pick up that and be strong, be mature for it. All right. And avoid any kind of confrontation, either from the waiter or the guys at the valet. Avoid any kind of other customers who come in like you did. Avoid any kind of confrontation. Okay, so it shouldn't come from you. You be the most calmest, coolest person on a date. Even if there's an issue and they're trying to escalate it, you got to de-escalate, calm things down. You don't want to go to a date and you're fighting, you're trying to separate your lady because of a fight or disagreement or something, or the meal was not right, or just make sure, just take charge. That's what I mean. You take charge of the situation. Oh, they didn't bring the right meal. Don't worry about it. I got you. You're right, baby. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Bring it down. Even if you're offended, you didn't like the way the waiter was serving, talk to the manager or something and do it calmly, do it responsibly. Be cool. Take charge of the environment. Do not support her to escalate an issue that you could ordinarily put under your control. All right. So that's all I have for you today at Man Cave. Be responsible. Be calm. Take charge. All right. Until I see you same time next week. Like, share, invite somebody. Tell somebody about this. Let's pick up a couple of things, especially my young folks, guys who were born in the 2000s. I'm not trying to diss you, but I know that, there's a lot that is confusing out there. And this is why we're making this video, so that there's a lot of things that you can unpack and learn and relearn. Until I see you some other time, my name is Chris, Man Cave. Stay responsible, brothers. Stay responsible and happy Thanksgiving. One more time, happy holidays. Bye for now.